Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I have received certain verses, right? I'm by an individual. This will be anonymous. So I'm just going to clarify what is the misunderstanding with regards to these verses. The question that was posited was that if God's words could be changed, so why isn't the Bible changed, etc. And I'm gonna answer this in parts because I don't want the video to be too long. If you look at the verses, you'll find this one over here. I think it's 6115, I'm not sure. لا مبدل لكلماته, right? And it translates in Mohsen Khan's translation. There is nothing can change. There's no one that can change his words. Now we have to look at the word mubaddil. What does mubaddil mean? Look at the word, it comes from the word badal. So mubaddil means someone who changes. Badal is change. Like for example, Islam, who has it? He's called a Muslim. So badal, who has it, which is change, he's called a mubaddil. Verse says, لا مبدل لكلماته. There is no replacement for his words. Now I use the word replacement. Why? Because there's a difference between change, and change replacement. Do you understand? Change is modification, alteration, when you change something like water by adding drops, etc. But replacement is when you replace the whole glass completely with another glass, right? And that's what badal means over here. It doesn't mean taghyir, it means replacement. So God's saying that there's no one that can replace God's words. Do you understand? Over here, we're not talking about distortion where you change the words, right? You're talking about replacement. So there is no one that can replace God's words. This is what the verse is speaking about in this context, right? Can the Quran be altered by people? Yes, but there will always be a Quran that is never going to change. Why? Because God said in the Quran that He will preserve His dhikr, yeah? وَإِنَّ لَهُ لَحَافِظُونَ. And if you look at that verse, right? إِنَّ لَهُ لَحَافِظُونَ. It's speaking about al-dhikr with an alif lam, which is a definite article. Dhikr means remembrance. So speaking about a specific kind of remembrance. Do you understand? Just like if we say in English with a definite article, the. Yeah, we say the man. We're not speaking about every single man. Yeah, we're speaking about a specific man. So this specific remembrance, the Quran, will be preserved. That's what's meant by dhikr. Yep. And now look at the context of the verse that was cited. لا مبدل لكلماته. There is no one that can replace God's words, right? Some translators use the word change, but the word change has a lot of meanings. It can mean modify, it can mean replace. Do you understand? Like for example, change the tires. That's one example. So with regards to لا مبدل لكلماته, you will see a verse before it. It's talking about taking someone else as a judge besides God when God sent you His book. And a book is basically a collection of writings, a collection of words. So God says then later after this verse, there is no replacement for you to follow as a judge, for judgment. There is no replacement for you to follow for judgment other than God's judgment, God's words. Do you understand? So you cannot go to the words of the rabbis, like rabbinic commandments. You cannot go to the words of the Pope. You cannot go to the words of secular law when we're talking about morality specifically, not legal, illegal, right? You can only go to the words of God.